Lauren, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome back to Birmingham.
Thank you.
It wasn't that long ago that you were actually in Birmingham, was it? For the Hootie and the Blowfish show?
Yeah, no. It was, what was that?
That was end of October?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But welcome back. You seem to be making this your second home in the UK.
I'm trying to, yeah. If one day I can afford a place over here, it'll be easier. Because then I can carry more clothes than what fits in my backpack.
But, how's the European tour been so far with Brett and his crew?
It's been awesome. His crew is so kind. His band is awesome. Brett's been really nice. And the shows have all been fantastic. So Birmingham, bring it tonight.
And you've been here with your little sister, haven't you? So kind of using it as a little vacation as well. So how cool has that been to hang out?
I don't know how much vacation there's been.
You've been exploring a little bit though.
We did, yeah. We got to quite a bit in Amsterdam, but it's been fun. She's been really useful, helping me carry my stuff and teaching her how to sell merch, and she's been really fun to have on the road.
Yeah. So how did this opportunity come about for you? Because I'm always intrigued as to how people get on support slots, and how did you come into contact with Brett?
I think that, so Brett has said that he heard me at C2C in March and thought that I wasn't terrible. So I think that after he heard me, my team kind of pitched me to this opening spot, and him and his team said, yeah, okay, she's not that bad, so she can come.
And I feel like you've kind of got a really kind of strong bond with the UK fans now. I mean, you've made a commitment to them, and they've made a commitment to you as well. Yeah. And I know you're just looking at requests on your phone. Do you find that you get really kind of obscure requests from the UK fans?
I've gotten a couple. Somebody requested a song called Maps that I wrote when I was 15. And it's not on iTunes, it's not on Spotify. I think they found it on YouTube.
Wow.
And when I got that request, I was like, how did you even hear that song?
Dedication right there.
Yeah, I know. It's been really cool seeing so many familiar faces now that this is my third time back. And, just catching up with people and finding out how their lives are, how their mom is, getting to kind of reunite with people is really great.
Cool. And you released a couple of Springsteen covers a couple of weeks ago, and I was just listening to your interview with James, and I could feel the passion that you've got for Springsteen. You even got a Western Stars t-shirt on as we speak. So tell us a little bit about how much fun it was to work on that project.
It was great. We knocked it out in a day with two of my friends in Nashville, Gabe and Gideon Klein, and I just told them, I was like, hey, this is what I'm imagining, this is what I hear. And we just went into their studio outside of Nashville and just got to play and make what I heard in my head come to life, which was really fun. And it was also kind of simultaneously a little bit scary because major Springsteen fans, I knew they would either hate the songs and my versions of them, or they would love it. But luckily, everybody's been really kind. And E Street Radio was super supportive, so that was it was really cool because honestly I just wanted versions that I could put on and listen to that sounded the way that I wanted them to sound.
It was quite interesting to hear a female voice on these tracks as well, so how much of an impact did that have for you, and how excited were you to kind of experiment with that?
Well, I always love the juxtaposition behind a man's story or a man's song and hearing a female tell that story. I think it adds more layers and it adds more depth and kind of puts a new perspective on it. So that's part of the reason why I didn't change any of the lyrics to fit to be a woman's song, because it is a man's song. And I always find it interesting.
Yeah. But it came out very, very well in the end. So.
Thanks.
And going back to your own music, you've had such a kind of whirlwind year. You've been all over the world touring this No Saint album. So has it kind of exceeded your own expectations in terms of how far you've come with it?
Yeah. I think for a while I wasn't sure that the record would ever see the light of day. So for it to see the light of day in Berlin and Birmingham and Amsterdam is incredible. Yeah. And there was some people last night at the show who came from Spain and had a radio show in Spain and said that they had been playing the record on the radio show there, and they flew in from Spain, and I was like, okay. Yeah. So yeah, it has.
Yeah. And you were just talking to James about kind of the whole Nashville machine thing and the whole promotion side of things. I feel like you've got a really solid base now with the No Saint album. So what happens moving forward? Are you going to kind of really push it promotion wise for album 2?
I don't know. I think some of that is some of the smarter people than me in terms of promotion of how we want to go about it. I think for artists, it's important to keep it in mind, but it's also, for me, it's important for that not to be the main thing. I don't do this for fame. Yeah. I do this for the art of it and for connecting, and as long as it's a real, honest connection, if it's 200 people in London, or if it's, I don't know how many people are going to be here tonight, but if it's
a couple of thousand. Yeah.
Okay, if there's 2,000 people in Cambridge, that if it's a real connection, that's the most important thing to me. So I don't know how to answer that question.
That's okay. So talking of album 2, you've been in the studio, you've recorded some stuff, and you're still writing for it as well. Yeah. So what can we expect from the next project in comparison to the No Saint album?
There will be a lot of similarities, but I've grown a lot. And, it's interesting because some of the songs on the No Saint album at that time were my favorite songs, and some of them still are. But a lot of the songs that I've been writing lately are really in the moment and kind of where I'm at now. And it's been exciting to once again write and sort of have this story that I want to tell. And this time I think it's going to be a lot more cohesive than the first record because the time span is going to be so much shorter. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a completely different record in that sense, but people will still be able to expect music videos, artwork, all of the things.
Yeah. So what's the selection process like when it comes to creating a new album? Because I know you said you've got kind of 6 that are kind of there and ready, but you've still got holes to fill. So what's the criteria when you're kind of choosing songs for an album?
I think that there's sometimes when I walk out of a writing room and you just know, okay, that's a really, really good song. Like, we nailed it. And then you play it live, and it's a fun process of figuring out, okay, well, how are we going to make this go from an acoustic guitar to a band, and what's that going to sound like? Because you can really mess up a song. So sometimes certain songs you realize just don't work as well as you thought that they might, and so you kind of beat it. And then others you have like a winner when you can strip it back and play it with an acoustic guitar and it's still a great song, or you can arrange it with a band and it still stands up. So that's kind of my criteria for a great song.
Yeah. And Austin Jenkins is a good friend of yours, and you've been doing some writing with him.
Yeah.
Now, Austin's album last year for us was one of the best albums of the year by an absolute mile. So what is he like to write with and work with?
Oh, he's so sweet. He's so sweet. Sometimes we have a great time. We make a lot of jokes and we laugh a lot, but I think sometimes like my darkness, because we have completely different lives. He's married and has a beautiful kid, and it's all great, and my life isn't exactly like that. So I bring like a little bit of the darkness into the room sometimes, but he's a fantastic writer, and he's just a good hang. He's really great energy, and he can sing the shit out of anything.
He certainly can.
Yeah.
Got an amazing voice. So when can we expect album 2? It's a big question.
When it's done.
When it's done.
When it's done.
You got no kind of idea at all that you could use?
I mean, it depends on how quick I finish writing it.
Okay.
And I've been sort of writing and recording as I go. So as soon as I'm done writing it.
Yeah, very much looking forward to it. And
you're
going to keep coming to see us?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Duh. Absolutely.
Anytime this year at some point?
Maybe.
I'll hold you to that.
Okay, perfect.
No, and thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time, and we'll see you next time you come over.
Perfect. Thanks.